Last but not least, this is going to probably, and I'm going to see if I can do a dedicated show with Aaron Clary on this sometime during this week, maybe a midweek show. We're going to talk about this, but a new report has come out. This is from an organization, another non-government, an NGO called Diverting Hate. Now, if that sounds familiar to you, I mentioned this back, I think it was in December of last year, because there was a plan that was in place courtesy of a group called Diverting Hate. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but I made mention of it. And it is an organization that is part of the McCain Institute that is out of ASU, or Arizona State University. And it is an organization that is funded by the Department of Homeland Security. Now, I mentioned this I think it was last December, and it was a good joke at the time. Now it's not so much a joke, because at the end of March, they released a report on what they had done. Now, apparently, they have put me on some sort of watch list. They put Aaron Clary on a watch list, and maybe they don't know that we actually live in Las Vegas together. So I'm going to see if I can get Aaron Clary to come in and talk about this. He just put out a YouTube video on it. He's got a really great write-up on his blog if you would prefer to read it, but you can have it read to you on his YouTube channel, and sort of his response to all of this. Now, what's happening here is not only do we have progressive victory coming at Red Pill creators, we also have these NGOs that are trying to get us put on terrorist watch lists. Now, me personally, I don't know, but they do want to put incels and designate incels as a terrorist organization, a homegrown terrorist organization in the United States. That's what they would like you to believe incels are. The fraction of 1% of the population as identifying incels. Now, the reason they're doing this is because they have to justify what was a $700,000 investment or a grant money to Diverting Hate through the McCain Institute at Arizona State University here in the United States. All of this is taxpayer money, by the way. So again, I hate to go political on you, but I kind of have to here because this is affecting the red pill. So what do? Well, they've got to describe the problem first. So we're going to describe the problem here. This was me from the report here. This was their description of me in the most latest report, right? Rollo Tomassi, known as the Rational Male, is a white man in his 50s, 56, thank you very much, who resides in Nevada with his wife. Las Vegas, be specific, people. His content primarily features him seated and discussing various topics related to the Manosphere. Okay, they're accurate. A prominent advocate of the red pill ideology. Well, the fact that you're even calling it an ideology in the beginning here, it leads me to believe you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, because I don't even, you know how that bothers me. Okay, Tomassi distinguishes himself by opposing TradCon influencers and extensively delving into the concept of hypergamy. Okay. Tomassi's videos often critique and scrutinize figures within the same community. Notable instances include criticisms of individuals like Jordan Peterson, yes, Matt Walsh, yes. Apart from his online presence, Tomassi has authored several books from his online presence. Tomassi's authored several books on intersexual relationships, solidifying his... It's almost as if they had AI writing this. Like if you say, copy AI, write me a description or profile of Rollo Tomassi, this is probably what you would get. Okay. The Realms of the Manosphere. His first blog began in 2011, and he released his first book in 2013. I would figure that copy AI would get that. His content, which heavily emphasizes red pill ideology and hypergamy, you wouldn't even, if that was the case, you wouldn't be using the term ideology, has garnered significant popularity. Despite his high standing in these aspects, his channel's score is tempered by a low ranking in female dishonesty. By who? Who's doing this ranking? Due to the perceived lack of discussion on his particular subject. What the fuck is that? Like, what English are you using? Like an 8th grade English level doesn't even write this bad. Okay. In terms of subscribers, Rollo Tomassi experienced a modest growth on his channel in November of 2023 and had 218,000 subscribers. Yes, because I've been doing this with Pat Campbell since 2018. It's not significant, okay? I've been doing this a long ass time. You know how long it took me to get to 100,000 subs? I got to I was on Fresh and Fit when I did. It was March of 2021 as I finally got to 100,000 subs. So from 2018, thereabouts, 2018 to March of 2021, that's how long it took me to get 100,000 subs, because I don't buy subs. I don't buy followers. I don't buy likes. I don't do this because I'm a fucking YouTuber. I do this because I think it's necessary. I want to have the conversations. And yes, is it a good advertising for my book? Yes, it is. Because I'm an author and I like engagement, because that gives me ideas to write another book. Thank you. So my modest growth up to 218,000 subscribers. And by March 2024, this number had increased to 221,000. I'm at 222 right now. This consistent following suggests sustained interest in his expertise on red pill philosophy and intersectional dynamics within the Manosphere. This is precisely what I would expect an AI bot to describe me. Now, I wish I didn't call it up, but if you go and there's another profile that is on Aaron Clary. When I get Aaron in here, we'll go through this in a bit more detail. But the fact is that I'm on this list, and I'm going to show you this list. I got a ranking here, and I got to put the ranking up now. Let me see if I can superimpose this for you. This is my ranking. I almost feel like I won an award, except for this is actually serious. So this was from the report here. Sandman's at the top of the freaking list there. Sandman, to my knowledge, Sandman doesn't show his face on any of his videos, right? So they look at this and they say, so this, by the way, is their report, or this is what they're doing, is they're trying to prove work here. So the Diverting Hate organization has done this. Let me get serious here real quick. Diverting Hate does this, is they will, through Twitter and through YouTube, they have basically throttled my subscribership, which is kind of stupid, because if you know anything about the algorithm, like, I'm sure YouTube won't care whether or not I get more subscribers or I don't. They only care about individual videos, right? They only care. There's only three things that the YouTube algorithm really cares about. That's impressions, click-through rate, and audience retention. Those are the three most important things that the algorithm cares about. Okay, it doesn't care about subs, it doesn't care about likes, it doesn't care about comments. I'm happy. Thank you for commenting. Please do, because that's actually, I like that engagement, right? But likes, comments, subscriberships, those are what's known as vanity metrics. And if the young children that work at, or that are putting together this Divert Hate NGO, knew anything about the algorithm, they would be looking at views. They would be looking at individual videos. They would not be looking at individual channels. They would be looking at those videos. So when they are throttling back and redirecting my traffic to, let's see, I'll call this up here in a second, but they have been redirecting my traffic to two places. One is Justin Baldini, or Baldoni, whatever that guy's, we are man enough. That's the positive masculinity message that they think is healthy, and that if they redirect traffic there, that all the people who are searching me out, because there's so many people searching me out, right, that they'll get that instead. In fact, what they've done is they've taken taxpayer dollars to buy ad space on this channel. So if you're watching the replay of this and you see a commercial here and it redirects you to We Are Man Enough or Justin Baldini's channel, you'll know why. That's a direct result of their intervention between Divert Hate and a cooperation with YouTube, which, by the way, is a civil rights offense right there. So if anybody wants to pick up a case here, I'm sure this is an infringement of my First Amendment rights. Okay. Now, is it on YouTube? Sure it is. But this isn't YouTube. This is a non-governmental organization that is directly fucking with my right to say what I want to say. Simple as that. So now we've got Divert Hate. We've got YouTube involved. And by the way, YouTube's not the only culprit. Twitter is also, Elon Musk is also involved in this too. Because if you read the report, which we will in the midweek show, you'll see exactly what the mechanics are behind this. But essentially what they're doing is, the reason why they call it Divert Hate is because they're trying to divert my traffic to Justin Baldini or Baldoni and We Are Man Enough. man bun. I've talked about Baldoni or Bull, whatever his name is, in a few times. You want to talk about like boomer masculinity? You want to talk about like hippy dippy, Brazilian power crystals and sunning your bunghole? That's this dude. Okay. And they're also sending my traffic off to what is it? The Good Man Project, which is a name I haven't heard in a long time. But if you look up a video and it's called Dear Woman, that's the Good Man Project. So they're diverting my traffic to those approved masculinity sites because they are the only arbiters to let you know what misogyny is, what being a masculine supremacist is. They're the only arbiters of this, and the DHS is funding this with your tax dollars to the tune of $700,000 to basically throttle my traffic, throttle Aaron Clary's traffic. They would have throttled Fresh and Fit's traffic, but they were already demonetized, which is an interesting twist and plot twist in all of this. Because if Myron and Fresh were monetized, would they then be a target of divert hate? Because that says to me that they only care about taking money away from myself, taking money away from Fresh and Fit, taking money, and Pearl was on the list as well, taking money from these big creators. Pearl's demonetized. They didn't go after her. Fresh and Fit were demonetized by the time they initiated this program. I was not. And so, yes, I have most definitely seen a decline, or actually I should say a flat line in my subscribership on this channel. How do I know that? Because I also have the Access Vegas channel, and I also have I have my Clips channel as well, which people are still subscribing to. The Access Vegas channel went from, we've had it for about a year now, but it jumped from about 4,000 to about 7,000 in the last 4 months or so, which is just, it's just a modest incline. We only do it once a week, so I can understand. But again, the subscribership isn't that big a deal, but it is how it's their metric. It's how they're measuring this, because what they're trying to do is say, look, it's working. What we're doing is working. We're limiting these guys' exposure. We're diverting their traffic. We're diverting their message. We're diverting it somewhere else. And look, here it is. It's in the numbers. I'm going to show you those numbers right now. I had them just up here a second ago. So if you look at Sandman's numbers here, and you look at, by the way, MTR is on there as well. Legion of Men. I don't know who that is. Then gosh, how did I get? What am I at? The fourth here? I'm only fourth place. My male supremacy scaled metric, whatever the fuck that means, is an 89 score, which means I'm 1 point above Fresh and Fit Clips, because I guess Fresh and Fit Clips were still monetized when they initiated this stuff. I don't think they are anymore. Maybe they are. Rich Cooper, beat ya. I got one above Rich there, okay? Rich's subscriber count, if you look at his subscriber count, he's at 9 when they started in November of 2023. He was at 975,000. Now he's at over 1 million. And that was an increase of only 3.6% or 3.67%. Okay. Now remember, this is a 6-month period, because this report came out in March. Now, how did I get a hold of this report? I got a hold of it through my good friend Bex, and I'll explain to you who she is here in a bit. But you had to go digging for this. And the moment we made this public, they took it down and they killed the Divert Hate Twitter account is gone. And everyone associated with this decided that they were going to basically delete their accounts. So you tell me what the fuck is going on. Just Pearly Things. Now they put asterisks by Fresh and Fit, Sandman, and Pearly Things. They did that because those asterisks imply or show that they were monetized. They're no longer monetized when they started. So Pearly Things was at 1.8. Now she's at 1.9. They think this is a victory. Like, it's only 8.1%, right? Steph is Cold is on there. Aaron Clary, that's the one I wanted to get to. Sorry, Aaron, I beat you. Aaron Clary's only got a 75 rating on his male supremacy scaled metric. Again, unclear what the fuck that means. Okay. His sub count was 110, and he only got an extra 10. Actually, he had a better growth than I did during this time. And then 21 Studios, why they're even on this list anymore is beyond me, because they've been defunct for quite some time. But there you have it. So pertaining to my channel, if you look at this, I was at 218 in November, and now as of March, when they released this report, I'm at 221. I only increased 1.38% because they were redirecting my traffic. Now, the other thing is I only do these, every single one of these guys does way more videos than I do. I do this show. I do regularly. I only do one show a week. This show for anywhere between 3 and 5. Okay, let me stop lying. 4 or 5 hours. And that's it. And then my clips channel. And then I've got Access Vegas. That's all I'm doing. So my growth isn't going to ever be isn't going to be comparable to like even Aaron Clary's, right? Aaron Clary had made a good 10,000 more. So they look at those percentages, and those percentages right here, if you have a look at this shit, there you go. If you look at the percentages right here, mine's only at 1.38%. This, by the way, the increase in percentage right here at the very right column there, that's what they're trying to sell the Department of Homeland Security. Look, it's working. We did something. And when you work for an NGO, that's all you really got. You have to make work. You have to prove that you've done something with the $700,000 that the taxpayers gave you through the DHS, through the McCain Institute, and into Divert Hate, which is an NGO. So when we make up our own rules and we decide I don't even know what a male supremacy index fucking is. Who is doing the fact checks on these people? Who is checking the checkers? Who is behind all this fucking shit? We're gonna find that out in the midweek show with me and Aaron Clary. But that's the short version of what's been going on with us. Where's this last one here? Okay, I had to throw this one up here. In February 2024, we ran a diversion campaigns for 2 of our partners, Man Enough and Man Therapy, across 9 channels: The Real MTR, The Rational Male, Rich Cooper, Clips, his Clips channel, Entrepreneurs in Cars, and Unplugged Alpha, Steph is Cold, Aaron Clary, Captain Capitalism, and you can see the rest here. Okay, 21 Studios. Due to the demonetization of Sandman, Legion of Men, Fresh and Fit Clips, and Just Pearly Things, we were not able to run diversion campaigns. So essentially what they're saying is they could give 2 flying fucks about where the diversion goes. They only want to attack monetized channels. So it's not about some concern about misogyny. It's not some concern about some male supremacy index metric, whatever the fuck that means. They're not concerned about that. They're concerned about taking away your fucking bread. That's what they're concerned about. And this is, again, any civil rights attorney that wants to contact me and help me out with this, I am more than happy to sign my name on whatever you want to fucking do, man. We set out to answer the question, how does the effectiveness of diversion campaigns vary among audiences with differing levels of belief in male supremacy? Never once on this show have I said male supremacy. Never once have I advocated men are better than women. If anything, I've said, look, equality is a false god, yes, but I have also said that when I've been critical when people say, well, men are better than women, right? Generally, in speaking, they're better than women. I say, look, depending on what the challenge is, men have strengths and women have strengths, and men have weaknesses and women have weaknesses. I've said from day fucking one, we are better together than we are apart. Men and women are innate complements to one another. So pardon me if this shit goes up my fucking neck when some 14-year-old, 15-year-old kid at fucking, let's say 21-year-old kid at fucking ASU has decided that I'm in some way involved in male fucking supremacy. Go fuck yourself. You don't know what you're talking about. And I can obviously see that the descriptions that you're putting of each one of us has been done and been collated by some sort of AI program, some copy AI program. This is what they're selling back to the DHS. Look, it's working. This is what we're trying to prove. This is, by the way, this is from the report itself. Okay, our hypothesis is that diversion campaigns are more effective on channels with influencers who are less indoctrinated into male supremacy ideology. Anytime you guys at ASU or Divert Hate or any of you guys that are involved in this, and I know you watch this fucking channel, so any of you guys that are ASU, any of you guys at fucking Divert Hate, you want to come to Vegas, or hell, I'll fucking come down to Scottsdale. I'll go right up to your front fucking door. And we can discuss what you think is male supremacy, what you think is toxic masculinity. I will be happy to have that discussion with you about what I am and what I've done. And I will prove you 100% wrong. And so when people go, well, why does Rolla get a bug up his ass when people aren't accurate about this stuff? Why can't he just leave people like, morons like fucking Pearl alone? Why can't he just, this is why. Because what will happen is you'll have the DHS come at you, and it's more important than that, because what happens is the DHS then takes this and says, these guys are radicalizing incels. These guys are the ones that are radicalizing the incel population, which of course gets back to our good friend Will Costello and our good friend fucking Alex from Date Psych and our good friend fucking Chris Williamson, who are involved in fucking these incel studies that the DHS then takes and says, well, it looks like incels are terrorists. And then what happens? Well, we need NGOs, watchdogs, to keep an eye on who's radicalizing these incel terrorists, these homegrown terrorists. Let's give $700,000 to Divert Hate. Let's see what else. Light Upon Light. Let's give it to what else? Moonshot. There's a half a dozen different NGOs that are making a good chunk of change off of the idea that you poor fucking schmucks who are like addicted to fucking OnlyFans girls, and you incels are the boogeyman that they need to fucking get paid. That's why. Did we run out of battery on something, Kyle? Oh, we're good? Okay. I thought one of the cameras was going. Let's keep going here. Our hypothesis is that diversion campaigns, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Our key metric is view through rate, whereby we measure to see which channels can achieve a higher view through rate. This rate is measured by how much of the audience exposed to an ad placement watches the ad beyond the 5-second skip ad prompt. This metric helps us understand some level of interest and engagement with our partners' content. Those partners, man enough, Justin Baldini, who I should fucking sue for lost wages for damages for this shit. And by the way, damages that were purchased on taxpayer dollars through the NGO. Okay. This metric helps us understand some level of interest and engagement from our partners' content. So basically, they have approved content and they have not, and then there's my unapproved content, okay, or Aaron Clary's unapproved content. Additionally, we wanted to see if we could get any efficiencies in spend monitoring the cost per view across all channels. For channels where the cost was low, we can consider re-engagement campaigns and ideally advance our efforts with our limited campaign budgets, which of course is why you're putting this report out, because you want more campaign budgets, more than $700,000. I don't know what that is, but apparently you need a bit more money, kids. While we are still in the middle of the analysis, we have top level results that show promise in reaching the audience across the spectrum of male supremacy. Overall, all our ads had view rates higher than 50%. Significantly above industry averages that hover around 30%. Okay. You guys understand that you can pay like people in China to give you views, to click on those fucking things, that there are many different ways to fudge those fucking numbers. You probably understand that. Anybody who's savvy with the internet, anyone who's savvy with fucking social media, anybody who knows anything about like how the algorithm works with YouTube, I 100% guarantee you are probably already understand that it's very easy to buy subs, buy comments, buy views, buy click-through rate. If you really wanted to do that, you could. You know who doesn't know that? The people at the Department of Homeland Security. Those guys don't know that. So they see a report like this and they go, "Oh, they're doing great things. Let's give them $1.5 million this year instead of 700,000." So that's basically what's going on, and I think it's kind of ironic that they still are their media buy rate is still compared against the subscriptions of this channel and the subscriptions of the other channels here as well. So if you think, oh, that Rollo Tomasi is paranoid and he's a conspiracy theorist, dude, here, black and white. Would you like more? Let's keep going. This is from Bex. She says, Diverting Hate used something called the male supremacy scale to give each of these creators an extremism score. This scoring system is the product of Peril, P-E-R-I-L, which you can read more about in the quoted tweet. Okay. The goal of the Dividing Hate campaign was to suppress the growth of targeted creators. The Diverting Hate notes they were unable to run the campaign on a few of their planned targets due to YouTube demonetization, which of course was Pearl and the boys. Later in the report, they claim that the demonetization doesn't slow the growth of large channels and use this to advocate for demonetizing creators when they are still small and unable to fight back. Now, I got this other one I wanted to show you guys just so you guys get an idea what I'm here for. Where'd that video? I don't think that's it. Oh, I was just going to, hold on. I got to share a screen here. I believe this is, oh, wait, no, it's still here. All right, I'll just run this up. Could go there. Could go there. Sorry, it was in my downloads. Here we go. This will give you a better idea.
Diverting hate tool is a Twitter user experience design. In theory, this design would be informed by our robust database and network analysis to flag tweets and content that lead to misogynistic spheres, where extreme beliefs and violence are encouraged. The tool acts natively within the Twitter platform to hide violative tweets and divert users to other, healthier options, whether it be positive influencers, supportive community groups, or mental health resources. Currently, Twitter identifies and quarantines violative tweets. We feel that this is not the most effective approach to disrupting radicalization. We see an opportunity to provide relevant and healthy alternative paths for resiliency.
There you go. This young lady is the arbiter between what you get to see and what you don't get to see on Twitter when it comes to our content or red pill content or anything like that. That's the person that's in between, or at least people like that are what's between you and healthy content, or what they think is healthy content. You get to see what they get to see, what they want you to see. So if this is something that you guys want to like take up or you want to raise hell about, please do. But don't think for 1 second that there are not multiple people trying to tear down the red pill. This is how afraid they are. This is how terrified they are that anybody might say men and women are different. That anybody might say, hey, look, there's this thing called human nature, and that all that bullshit about, let's see, the blank slate. Yeah, that's kind of horseshit now. And social constructionism is also horseshit as well. And maybe we should have a discussion about this. They don't even want people to have the discussion. They don't want anybody to, like, when we go and like me and Mike do Access Vegas, we get criticized quite a bit for being too like soft on the girls, or we're not kicking them off quick enough, or we're suffering disrespect from them or something. Our goal on Access Vegas is to have a fucking constructive, at least in my case, is to have constructive conversations, right? We have never kicked anyone. Like girls might leave, but we've never kicked anyone off of the show. So when we have those conversations, essentially what's happening is you've got Divert Hate and you've got these NGOs that would like you to believe that you're getting the, and by the way, this isn't just somebody coming in and saying, hey, we know you've seen this. Well, how about you go and look at this? They're not even telling you that there is some sort of redirect or some sort of diversion in there and saying, hey, well, you know, you watch this. Why don't you watch this? It's not even there. It's just automatic. Oh, you clicked over here and you're going to look at Rolos. You're going to look at the, what is it? Shadia Knights. He's from Kenya. You're looking at this, whoop, and you don't even know that the redirect is there. That's where it's going.